I'm on daughter duty this morning, so if you hear her, she's fed, she's happy. Don't worry about it. Florida got 11 straight stops yesterday in their game against Alabama to start the second half. The length of Florida. There's a theme from these clips, and it's the length created indecision. And I want to break down some of these clips pretty quickly on what they were able to do to really give Alabama some troubles. I think about Alabama, they're going to use a lot of modern concepts. They're going to try to do everything in their power to generate different advantages. And so the main goal of some of these different actions right here, you got an angled pick and roll right here where you're able to potentially attack towards the corner. The main goal is to try to get two to the ball. You get two to the ball, you get a guy rolling, then you're playing 4-on-3 and you're playing pretty good basketball from there. And this inherently looks really solid off the go, right? You got a guy maybe potentially short rolling right here. If you can hit him, great. Alabama's not able to do so. My question out of it, why pick up the dribble right here if you're not ready to throw it? It's Florida's length. It's the indecision of being able to, jump and throw that pass. They're too close right here to potentially do a little pocket pass right here. I would love to either retreat and really draw two to you to be able to throw that. I hate picking up the ball right here. And so, okay, let's see if we can find some sort of other advantage right here. See if we can maybe generate a switch right here. You got Condon on a great downhill driver right here. And Florida did an amazing job of just with its length guarding your yard. You got guys that are able to really stretch out horizontally, not be afraid of contact. Great job. And then Lee right here. Look at this effort. Look at this effort on defense right here. Florida, just tremendous length, tremendous effort off ball. Even if it looks like you're able to get downhill right here, the ability to just get back in front. Straight line defense right here. That's awesome. I mean, for stretches of the game, Alabama just looked like they were unorganized. They didn't look like they knew what they wanted to get into on offense. They're all pointing around, nothing much. We don't know what's going on. Hey, you got to go up there. There's 17 on the clock. That is unlike a Nate Oates group to take that long to get into offense. And so they're trying to set some sort of angled screen. Great defense right here to force the ball handler back to this side right here. So go, okay, let's try to run some sort of screen the screener look, maybe get a flare, come off of a pin down right here. But then the ball handler's way too close to this pin right here. So even if the decision is to curl it right here, there's not enough space to be able to curl it and actually attack and get downhill. You really need your ball handler to be more spaced away from this right here to actually make this pass, because the curl was the right decision, but there's actually no room to do it. So again, you get two to the ball, you got a guy rolling right here. You're not actually able to make a play because of the length right here. And man, Chinyalu, love it. Draft stock up just off of this game. And again, length just causing indecision right here. Ton of guys helping over. Great help over by Condon. Doing a great job switching on any of these baseline out of bounds looks. I love that Condon's guarding the ball right here. The length makes it a difficult pass right here. Great job switching on any of these things. And anytime that you're going to have a guy setting any sort of a couple guys setting a stagger, any sort of pins, whatever for a shooter to run corner, you know that you're going to get a guy slip into the basket, as you should. This is a great job by Chinyalu right here to put the stop sign on, realize, hey, we're slipping to the basket. I got to get back in front. Great athleticism. Love it. And truly, if you know that they're going to switch, they've been switching all game, you got to slip this earlier. Heck, you might not even need to make contact. You already have hit your guy above the ball. Let's slip earlier, because if you did, even a half second, I mean, you're flushing this. But Bama gets the offensive rebound out of it, and you got a mismatch here with Condon on Phylon. I do not understand, and I think a lot of teams have started to do this. You have what I call a rabbit mismatch. You got speed mismatch right here. So let's space the floor. There's nothing wrong with an isolation right here. You do not need to get the more athletic Chinyalu switched onto him because you feel like you need to run a ball screen. That's just a mistake. You do not need that. I would have loved a one-on-one situation right there, but Chinyalu, great presence right there on defense, gets him to step out of bounds. Bama just gives up a bucket. They're going to try to get out in transition. That's what you got to do to try to get back in games like this where a team is physical. So they're going to get an empty side pick and roll. Nobody there. That says a lot of things. It says something for me as a defense. It says something for me as an offense. You have a lot of space to be able to roll out of something like this, depending upon how the defense is trying to play this. You get two to the ball. You get this all game long. all game long. And maybe defense helps right here. We cut. This is good basketball right here for the most part. But the mistake that Alabama makes right here is you get two to the ball and then you put another dribble on the floor. I would have loved to go one and let's get the ball out of our hands. Let's get the ball out of our hands. But instead, they put one more dribble on the floor. You get two to the ball, and Florida knows that, and they are physical with their hands. They got their hands high and up, and they are not letting a smaller guard make that play over them. Another baseline out of bounds look. You're going to have guys sprinting to the corner, so you know what that means. You have a guy with the opportunity to be able to slip to the basket, specifically if you're going to switch some of these things. Slip it early. Get out of there early. Nobody's guarding you. Look at all this space. Slip to the basket. Get out of there. But I love the physicality on the switch. Like, we're getting into this guy. We're not letting him just slip right away on us. They're not going to call the hold if you just, get it right into. I mean, he's screening you. He's screening you on this. So you get a slight little hold right there. You're physical. Oh, that's awesome. So Florida scores again. They've got all the momentum at home right now. Crowd's going crazy. You get early into an early drag, empty side. Same thing. A lot of opportunity for us to be able to make a play. You got good spacing. You have a gap to be able to attack right here if you want to get downhill, and a nice roll. But Florida does a great job staying attached. Staying attached. Long, wide arms on these pocket passes right there. And they get a deflection. Sometimes it's as simple as just putting something on film and saying, look at the effort right here. Condon, look at that effort. Okay, so it gets some pressure. They're going to try to get a guy to arrive alone by setting a ram. A ram is basically you set a screen for a guy to come up to set some sort of screen. You're trying to do that in order to get a guy to arrive alone, but that just doesn't happen. Lee is going to stay attached the whole time. There's no actual screen to help him arrive alone at all. He's still pretty close, pretty attached to him. Out of this, they're ghosting it, and Hauk does a great job of staying in front. But look at the angle. Look at the angle that the ball handler is going to get downhill. We're going to start right here, and he's going to get pushed all the way to outside right here, which allows Hauk to get back in front. One of the things that you're trying to do on these ghost screens is to get this guy to open up his hips like a gate so that you can get downhill on this. Doesn't nearly open up as much. I mean, even if he does a little bit, the steps that we're taking out of this, I'd love to get into him and get downhill to get him on your hip. But rather, you're taking a wider angle. He's able to get back in front, and just some great defense right there. So Alabama's doing everything in early offense that they can to try to get two on the ball. One of the best ways to do it, ghost the screen. Awesome. You got two on the ball. Get the ball out of your hands. You got a guy right here ready to either catch it, shoot, whatever, but you got a double side. You have to cut this right here. It takes this guy away potentially. Because you don't, and you stay right here, you're able to stunt, get back, defense recovers, and it's like you never even did your action in the first place. So you did everything that you could to get two to the ball. You did a great job, but you have to cut it. Indecision. Length causes indecision, and they just clean that puppy up. All of that happened in the first 5 minutes of the second half. That is crazy defense from Florida. Their length causes so much indecision. They're dangerous in March.